What is up, everybody? Hold on. What's up, y'all? You guys ready for this? Oh man, how we feeling? Oh man, oh man, this I don't know how to feel about this game. To start off, never ready. I feel you, Richie Rich. What's up, everybody? See y'all in here. Harvey, Rob, Noah, Aaron. What's up, y'all? BP. What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? Confidence level? 3 out of 10? 2 out of 10? Man, that can't be injuries. That's a bummer. That is an absolute bummer, right? What's up, Holden? Richie Rich, you got a 4? LA Kings Nick, what's up, man? Scared after watching Battle of Alberta, yeah. Flames looking pretty good. Not gonna be easy. I don't know. I don't know though, right? You never count this team out. Like every time it feels like whenever we've counted them out, they just bounce back. So what's going on, y'all? I'm trying to get my stream going here. Yeah, the Kempe injury does suck. All right. So appreciate you all already in here. We already got 21 people in here. You guys are the best. Uh, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to our stream or to our YouTube channel. You guys are the best, though. I can't wait to see what we have for tonight. Hopefully, it's a game. Hopefully, it's just at least a good game. That's always my worry when I do these. I'm gonna hop on here. It's gonna be like the Buffalo game. I hope it's a good one. Mason Jones, man, the early reports still not good, right? He's going home with a couple games left already. It's not the best sign. But we'll talk about during the intermissions. I'll bring up cap friendly. See where the Kings are at in terms of the salary cap situation, how the Arvidsson's injuries currently impacting it, how Kempe's injuries might impact it. Mikey Anderson is still not on LTIR, so we'll see what happens there. We'll go ahead and have some fun there, going over some stuff. But I don't want to say this is a must-win game, but to figure out a way to get at least a point here today, right? Russ, remember the last live stream? They're officially good luck. I'm hoping. I haven't had that much luck actually doing these. I think this is my fourth one. I think the last one was the Bruins one, and obviously we knew how that turned out. That was pretty good. Yeah, RB, 100% winning this game. I like it. I like it. Gut check time. I feel ya. Anthony, what's up, man? Just got way different. Yeah, it did. We'll talk about that during the intermission. Give us something to talk about. Oh yeah, if Kempe's out long term, that's definitely not good. See how Rob Blake's gonna address that, especially when haven't been scoring 5 on 5. It's been their let's see. No, besides the Black or Blue Jackets game, been playing pretty good. Yeah, Tablett's gonna have a big game. Uh, Last 10 games, the Kings have scored 14 goals at 5-on-5. I was looking right here. Guess I could just share it. So 14 goals, 5-on-5, 17 against 5-on-5. In the expected goal share, though. Scoring chances there. Man, it's just a lack of finish, right? Yeah, Anthony, I'll do my best to talk about how the game's going. I'm not going to do a play by play. I'm no Bob Miller, but we'll have some fun. Keep you updated as much as I can. Got 31 people in here watching with us today. So we got Big Talbot in net. What do y'all think about the Dubois Byfield Kopitar line? That's pretty interesting. Just put all the centers that we thought would be centers last few years just on one line. I guess Dubois is this year, but RB says it's good. It's good. All right. On paper, it should be good. Okay. There's some confidence there. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. AO King says 4-2 Kings, Dubois and Dowdy with a couple goals. I mean, I'm sure like the last game that Dubois played, that he didn't look it at all. So, I mean, we talked about with Hiller coming in, he's be more of a vocal kind of relationship builder with the players. I'm curious to see how Dubois responds. It's probably his worst game since Hiller's taken over. I'm curious how that goes. Richie Rich says Turcotte with a goal. Get Turkey back in there. Joe, what's up, man? Trevor Moore about to heat up. Yeah, he's been snake bit, huh, bud? Joe's dealing with a little bit of a cold. I think he'll also join us. Randy might join us later on. Keep my eye on my phone. We need Phil to know to heat up. Is who we need to heat up. That guy, what was that? No goals in like 12 games or so. Probably longer than that. RB Joe cheering for LA or Calgary. Uh, I love it. That's so funny. I hope he's betting on Calgary. All right, puck drop about to begin. Let's get it. Got to create my little score here. All right, all right. Sub, sub, Ja. Kingsville says you saw Hiller yelling at PLD over his shoulder. I'm sure there's a lot of yelling going on there. It was, like I said, it wasn't a good game at all. We usually do pretty good against Markstrom. We usually do pretty good against the Flames. I feel like last couple years. No, I could be wrong. Oh no, Anderson, chill out. And that ice at Calgary always looks so good. Every time you watch an Oilers or Flames game, it's like you see that ice is just perfect, pristine. Or first look at the Dubois, Byfield Kopitar line. Richie Rich with the $2 donation. I appreciate or super chat. I appreciate it. Says tell him to put it on Calgary. And we need some good luck. We need Joe to put some money on the board for the Flames. All right. Well, the Kopitar line's just getting hemmed in so far in the first. No real. Oh, just I say that. It was a nice tip. 33 people in the chat. Appreciate y'all. See if the Kings can get squeeze out a dub here. I'm curious to see how this Kaliev, Lefebvre, and Lazat line works. Lazat and Lefebvre, I've always kind of wanted to see them play together. They have almost the same kind of play style, right? Maybe Lefebvre's got a little bit more skill, little more finesse, but Kaliev and Lazat have always played well together. Oh, 2-on-1. Flames the other way. Oh, good stick lift. Anglin with the back check. Oh, sneaky. Oof. Wow. That was kind of scary. Oh, Dowdy Moverara. What's up, Luke? Beat him there, Jed. It's kind of, oh, dude. Trevor Lewis just has another grade A chance in front, and can't bury it. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what's going on. I mean, he's kind of in tight there. It's tough to make a play, but feels like we've just seen that so much, right? Especially the last couple games. Like how many chances has Lewis had the puck, or just even like a beautiful scoring chance in front, and nothing. That 2-on-0 that he passed up with Lazat against was it Nashville? Oh my god. I was sitting up there watching that, like, I was in the arena watching it, and it's just like, as soon as I saw him take it to the net and not wait for Lazat, it's like, of course it's not going in. Flames are getting a lot of zone time. A lot of offensive zone time. There you go, Phil. Oh my, Kadri's going crazy. Kings have a hard time trying to even possess the puck at the moment, which is not a good sign. Not a lot of decent chances for the Flames. Everything's mostly to the outside, so I guess that's okay. Like, that's the thing. If a team wants to keep it to the outside of the Kings, this team, they're totally fine with that. If you want to just pass around the blue line and whatever things, what's made this team successful is their counterattack. If they can counterattack you and beat you off the rush, then Kings win a lot of games. Good defense by Fiala. Ooh, Kobe breaking ankles. Dude, that's not really a good shot. Byfield whiffs it. Oh, Beats it, alright. Sticks with it. Keep it in, boys. Kopitar, Byfield, Dubois making plays, okay. Good zone time. Nothing of substance, though. What's up, Nav? How you doing, bud? Oh, dude, we almost had him. Oof. Oh my, what's the penalty? Kopitar just got a slashing penalty? Oh, it's Doughty. What? Oh, it's Doughty. Where was the slash? Man, they've been calling those slashes so tight. I need to see, like, real, like, non-slow motion, but man, that seems like a stick on stick. Oh, alright. Calgary power play. Yeah, John, it's kind of I mean, the start of the game, if the refs wanna call it like that, then whatever, but you better be consistent with that because that happens a lot. Good save, Talbot. Matt Roy's gonna play, like or Gavrikoff's gonna play, like, 25 minutes tonight. Yeah, that was even J yeah, Joe is really he's pretty easy with the refs. That was this I need to see the I'm watching the Flames broadcast, by the way. I kinda like watching other teams broadcast every now and then. Oh, they're snapping it. Kings defense is kinda scrambling. Whoa! Good pressure. Oh, crap. Good job, Blake. Dude, they're sitting on Blake's stick or Lazat's stick. Man, about a minute 30, 90 seconds so far, all went in the King zone on this power play. Nice play. Whew, that was scary. Good play, Phil. Ah, man, this is the thing. This, I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm actually just gonna wait until this time runs out. That's the thing is, like, with how bad the Kings have played of late, like, I mean, streaky, I guess, since Hiller. I guess just the last this whole season, I guess I'll just say is the penalty kill's always been good, right? It's so crazy. Oh, nice shot, Kev. Ah, Spence gets the shot on goal, easily saved by Markstrom. Right, offensive zone time. Good penalty kill. Who do y'all want to see score the first Kings goal, or who do you guys think is going to score the first Kings goal? I'm gonna say Trevor. I'm gonna say Trevor Moore. I'm gonna see no Fiala, Trevor Moore line go crazy. They need to start heating it up. Two people right away say Phil. Yeah, Holden Fiala looks really good. Fiala's been having his legs lately. I've liked the way Kev's played. Had a kind of a rough penalty the other day, but former Titan says England. Just says 5. I wonder if that's how England just introduced themselves to his opponents. "Hey, what's your name, man?" 5. I'm number 5. Nav says Kopi. Anthony says no. And dubious scoring. I like it. I know you meant Dubois. I want some dubious scoring too. Overhard from the point says Sty. Wild card pick. Spence to get us first. Like it. I'm curious. Spence needs some more minutes. Is what he needs. Morgan says Otani homer today, so the Kings can't hurt me right now. I saw that homer. The guy's got so much power. Just kind of knock that out, pop out like that. The guy's unreal. So I don't know. You guys, I'm watching the Flames broadcast. I actually really like listening to Kelly Rudy. He's so good. Really cool dude. Kopitar line hasn't looked too bad. I mean, they're not really getting too much pressure on, but yeah, they're not really possessing the puck that much. Just kind of neutral zone play. MG, I have my ways. Oh, that's not good. Good save, Talbot. That was a weird bounce. How did that end up in front like that? Richard, what's up, man? What's up, Richard? There's an update. Teams were looking for wingers suggesting Kempy might go on LTIR. I mean, they were looking for this before Kempy's injury, to be honest with you. They're, if Rob Blake is serious, and I'll talk about this more during the intermission, if Rob Blake is serious about this team, which I'm sure he has to be, right? He has to be serious. His job's on the line. He's got to figure out a way to upgrade this team. The only problem is, like, I understand a lot of people's concerns is you wonder if a GM who's on the cusp of possibly losing his job if he kind of makes the wrong move. Oh crap! Flames just got a decent chance. Trident Hunt missed the net. Oh man, they barely missed that. I want to see Kevin Fiala just start to go off, like, offensively. Like, you know how sometimes he gets in these like spurts where he just starts to go crazy, like 7 points in 3 games, something stupid like that. I need to see him do something like that. Go Vladdy. Oh, slow paced game so far. Yeah, Si, you get it. The dad boost is coming soon. Jessica Fiala kinda trolled me there. It was funny. On Jordan? Ooh, Turcotte. That was nasty. Almost. I like Turcotte as a center more than I like him as a wing. I think he's looked good at times at wing, and I'm not gonna say he's not good at the wing, but I think he's better as a center. Nice play, Spence. Oh, off his helmet. Good shift, fourth line, good shift. Oof, good save, Talbot. Morgan, I see your comment. I'll talk about this at the intermission. We'll talk about some potential targets at the trade deadline. And if it is gonna be pricey, that's the thing. Like I talked about it like earlier, if Rob Blake is really trying to go in with this team and wants this team to go as far as he can as it can, because let's face it, like if they don't make it past the first round, there's gonna be people calling for him to get fired, and I don't blame him. I'm probably gonna be one of them. So if they don't make it past the first round or they miss the playoffs altogether, then Rob Blake could be out of a job. So does he I'm sure he probably realizes that too. So do you if he's probably thinking, I have to try to do whatever I can to improve this team, especially with the injuries to Mikey Anderson, to Kempe. I mean, you have to figure out a way to improve this team, and you got the money to do it. But what's that going to cost in terms of future assets, prospects, draft picks? You have to figure out a way to like this is typical Rob Blake stuff. Like he doesn't go too big. At the deadline, and even last year, I felt like he didn't go crazy. Even with the Gavrikov trade, it just felt like maybe it was more kind of a necessary move, and it just felt that it was more impactful because you're trading Jonathan Quick. But he's always felt like the last few years. I felt like he's kind of gone with a lower impact player. And we felt like last year, I felt like he could have probably traded for Trickering, but so I'm curious if he just goes out and picks up like a underrated winger or underrated defenseman, like the Troy Stetcher type, right? How about the size on this Kopitar line, though, huh? Everybody's at least 6'3", like 200 pounds. God, we're going back to our 2012 roots, huh? Ah, come on, boys. Woo. Really choppy game, huh? A lot of stick fighting. I hope that means Stanley Cup with 2012. Barely gonna make it into the playoffs. I don't know if they'll be the 8th seed technically or the second wild card. Yeah, it does. Feels like Sutter type game, huh? Not a lot of space, chip and chase. We got Kadri out there against Lazat. Look at Lazat going keep up with him. Nice play. Nice shift by Lazat there defensively. Man, Lazat, Leferrier they're on it. Ah, bad pass by Laffy. Not bad pass, but could have been better. All right. I like that line. I like that Lazat, Leferrier, Kaliev line. I feel like they might produce here something. If they can be a decent fourth line for this team, kind of have to try to find some production somewhere elsewhere. I like that fourth line though. Yeah, we hold him. I know 3 shots on goal. It's like they haven't had the puck. England, you kill me, bro. Go Jordan. Go Jordan. Oh, nice play. Man, Hannafin just made a nice play. It might have been Uyghur that made the play, but that was a nice play. Get there, Turcotte. Get there, Turks. Nice. Come on, let's generate some pressure here. Get a little forecheck going. That's what they're gonna do. Nice spin, Dowdy. Oh man, 3 shots on goal so far. Yeah, Holden, I agree. Like not a lot of offense just being generated at all. Even everything to the outside against the Flames, I'll take it. I'll take it. But man, no breakouts, no shot, 3 shots on goal. How many? Hold on here. I'm trying to do something. Dalek, what's up, man? Says rough game so far. Hopefully they pick it up, though. I really fear we're already feeling the loss of Kempe. I mean, man, Yeah, hold on. I hear that. Uh, I saw that about the wingers. I mean, it makes sense, right? You should. John, yeah, dude, Toffoli would be like a perfect. What's up, Lee? Toffoli would be such a great fit. I just don't know if the Devils want to move him. Eh, I feel like they kind of want to resign him. Get a lot for him. Yeah, that would be cool, huh, Richard? Oh, you're at the Dodgers string. Nice. Saw the Otani bomb. Hell yeah. Good game to go to. Oh, Richard, Portillo's been looking really good, huh? I'm glad. I mean, I was kind of worried. First professional season, you kind of wonder how he's going to start going, and he's actually looks pretty good. It's very promising, especially with how the salary cap's going to look next year for the Kings. They might have to rely on him earlier than expected. Uh oh. Oh, Moverara get a penalty holding. Yeah, that's a hold. Ah, yeah, I guess that's a hold. I mean, you get the visual of him letting go of the left hand. Yeah, Stakinski looks good too. Both of the goalies that the Kings have drafted recently looks pretty or picked up recently have looked pretty good. That's good. Still some time for them though. Be fun to watch Stakinski in college next year. Flames setting up the power play. Hubert. Oh, oh, cover that. Oh, someone just got hit in the face with a wrister. Holy hell! Is that Kadri? Oh, ow! Was that straight off the shot? Oh my god! Oh, he hit him like right up, like right here. That's still. I don't know. Where's that? Here it is. Oh, dude, that was just like a clean, just like 80-mile-an-hour wrister, like straight to the chest. Oh, right in the logo. What's up, Hernan? Let's go Kings. Yes, sir. Sleepy game so far. Kings with only 3 shots on goal and with 3 minutes left in the first. Oh, oh, give him the outside. Give him the outside. Joe,
Hey, Russ.
what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How we doing? Hello, everybody.
How you doing? How's the cold treating you? You feeling pretty good?
Better today. Better today. The voice is maybe a little off still, but overall, feeling much better today than yesterday. That's for sure.
Awesome.
Yes. Can we talk about this Calgary decor? I know everybody wants to hear me talk about the Flames. That's why you let me in, right?
Yeah, of
But
course.
holy cow, Uyghur looks good. How many chances Rasmus Anderson has had? Hannafin.
You know,
This
it's
is a
weird because
fun decor.
I've never been like totally high. You know me. I've never been
Yeah.
totally high on the Flames. But the more I watch, like I could see like the defense, like when you have that four of Uyghur, Hannafin, Tanev,
Oh,
Anderson, like you almost wonder like why would they want to sell? But I guess in the situation they're in, they kind of have to. But
I guess if Hannafin won't sign, they don't have a choice, really. I suppose.
yeah,
You know.
oh, Kadri
But
looks
yeah,
pretty good.
it's a fun decor. Say if they
What do you think
can,
about this game so far?
if they can kill. I was just gonna say if they can kill this, this is like it hasn't been a good period, but it's a fine get out of Dodge road period, first period of a
Mhm.
back to back, like settle the ship a little bit. But they're it's like they're swimming upstream all game.
Yeah, I mean, if they can somehow scrap out a point from this game, then I don't
Oh
think anybody's
yeah,
gonna be too upset.
for sure. Especially with the injury to Kempe, it would have been tough regardless.
Mhm. Byfield's got the wheels. Fiala's out with Kopitar and Byfield right now.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see Hiller mix things up a little bit. That was coming off of PK, obviously, so maybe some things a little off. But I heard you say earlier, and I couldn't agree more. It was what was it? Turcotte, Laferriere, Kaliev, or was it Lazat, Laferriere, Kaliev?
Uh,
They were out there for a shift together. Looked pretty good.
Lazat,
It was
Lefebvre,
Lazat.
Calais.
Yeah, yeah. That's my
Like,
ideal fourth line.
yeah, we've already like Lazat and Calais have worked, right? We've seen it.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been wanting to see Lefebvre and Lazat play together because you get two just real puck hounds together. Probably the two best on the team in terms of just constant motion on the puck.
Oh, it's a little weak from Byfield there. But yeah, you're right. You're right. And I think Laferriere has a touch
Oh,
more skill to him.
it kind of feels like your comment, they're swimming upstream all game, kind of. Oh, Byfield just knocking over Mangiapane. Are you watching which
I,
broadcast are
I
you watching?
I have Calgary, though I'll be honest, I've had it kind of on mute. I was just kind of listening to Russell for most of the first period. So oh, I just saw the Byfield hit.
Yeah, first
But
period.
what's weird is haven't seen like Talbot have to make any grade A's, I would say,
Mhm.
despite the enormous pressure from Calgary all period. I don't think they've had too many where it's just been crazy high quality chances for Calgary.
It's been like all from the point, maybe a deflection in front, but it's kind of
Yeah.
scary though because they're getting a lot of traffic.
Yeah. Eventually, it can't keep up like this. That's for sure. Eventually, something's going to crack.
Let's see how many. What's the shot count look? was watching that Vancouver Golden Knights Maple Leafs game. I'll get it right. I'm looking at all these teams in front of me. I was watching that game earlier. Who did the Golden Knights end up winning that game?
Toronto wasn't Toronto winning that game?
It's not here. I'm looking at natural stat trick right now.
That seems a little off today. Natural stat trick.
Loading.
Yeah, Vegas did win 6-2 handily.
6-2, yeah.
I don't know why. I must have saw Vegas was winning that game, not Toronto. See, I'm on Money Puck right now just because natural stat trick isn't updating.
Hey, so let's talk about that poll I posted earlier.
Yes.
About Matt Roy.
Yes.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm going to mute this real quick. What? Okay. Were you surprised by the results of that poll? It seems overwhelmingly in favor of trading Matt Roy.
I was going to say, what were the results? I think when I
see if I can just put them on here.
Yeah, when I voted, it was like 40% or something like that for yes. Okay, I just saw.
Okay, it's actually kind of easing up a little bit. Let me see. Here, let's get Randon. Randon's here, and he's not here, but he's here. So we'll get him on his take on this.
An impromptu podcast.
Yeah, impromptu pad. But okay, so we got it right here. 48% says trade Matt Roy. 33% says don't, and then the rest are see results. But surprised, and would you do it, or what would you do?
I wonder what the results would have been. Hey, Randon.
Hey, Randon,
not much.
Man. What's up, buddy?
I just had to create. I had to create one of these for the segment we're about
to
have.
Hell yeah, I love it.
I wonder. I wonder what the results would have been prior to the Edmonton game.
It was definitely kind of like although I feel like it's the timing kind of is pertinent because of the Kempe injury.
And the loss. I think the loss and the Kempe injury, really, really like puts a stamp on it. So I guess I'm not surprised. I am still I have been and remain in the kind of camp of I am not interested in trading Roy for futures.
Okay.
I would really have to, I guess that comes with a caveat of I guess, what is this future? Is this a prospect that's really close to the NHL? So I guess I'll throw that caveat in there, but I know things are a little the vibes aren't great right now. They lost to Edmonton. Kempe's hurt. The world is falling. But at the end of the day, at least at the moment, like the Kings are still only a couple points out of not only third, but second in the division. That's still within striking distance. Depending on the matchup, you can see them get out of that first round, which is a pretty stated goal this year. And Matt Roy helps them do that still. So I would have to know the plan, like understand, okay, we're going to trade Roy and then we're going to also do X, Y, and Z, right, to strengthen the roster. So I'm in the camp of I'm not really interested in trading Roy for futures. If Roy is a part of a package to get I say a defenseman still with term, then I can listen to it. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Man, I'm so on the fence, and I think I've gotten more on the fence because I think we've talked about this almost the entire season. I feel like because he's probably one of the more valuable players in terms of if they could trade somebody. So I've always been, no, hold on to Matt Roy. If this team's going to make a run, they have to have Matt Roy on the roster because he makes them a better team, in my opinion, with him on the roster. The only reason I get kind of, I guess I lean more the other way is they've shown so much of a reluctance to play a right shot defenseman on the left side that it just feels like in order to get Brant Clark and Jordan Spence consistently in the lineup every night has to be to trade Matt Roy. And when I think about like how much worse that team is with a Matt Roy-less team with Clark and Spence now consistently playing in the lineup, I don't know if they're like so much worse that it makes them like not a playoff team or even like a team that could probably make a decent run. But I agree with you. Like if you end up trading Matt Roy, then you better use that salary caps or that cap space that you then create to go out and get something that could maybe upgrade you on the left side or upgrade you at one of the wing positions. So that's kind of how I feel. Like I see it going either way. But then, so if you do end up trading Roy, like I said, you have to figure out a way to still upgrade the team in other positions. But I mean, if they don't, the thing though, if they don't, and they don't win a playoff series, I mean, I was messing around with Cap Friendly earlier today, and I just don't see a way that they can keep him next year, and it just doesn't look like it's ever going to happen. So, I mean, it's a big gamble, I guess, for Rob Blake. Randy, what do you think?
I think they
should. Randy, I'll actually tee you up with this. I'll tee you up the way I teed up Joe is. With this poll that I put out earlier, were you surprised or are you surprised by the results of this poll with a lot of people overwhelmingly seem to be okay with trading Matt Roy or say, yes, trade Matt Roy? And what would be your decision?
I'm not surprised. And I don't think this is an anti-Roy poll. I think this is a pro-Brant Clark poll. Pro-Jordan Spence poll.
That's a great way of putting that. Yeah, for sure.
And so to me, with the way the Kings have their injuries, only we know how long Mikey Anderson's going to be out, unless they said it on the broadcast, and I haven't seen that. Only they are going to know how long Kempe's out. But we have, including tonight's game, there's only 10 points up for grabs before the trade deadline. So realistically, how much are you going to know about this team about that time? I mean, if they get all 10 points and we're in second, is the team now a contender regardless of injury? Probably not. If they split the games and we're in the wild card spot, are we a first round contender regardless of injury? Probably not. So my thing would be if the going rate is Roy for a conditional first based on like him signing there or doing whatever, I think you take the deal and you roll it with Clark and Spence. If you're getting a 4th round pick or a 3rd round pick for Roy or a middling prospect or something like that, and the team still has a chance to win one playoff series, you probably keep him because the return isn't that great. So I think he's got to field calls knowing that you have 2 guys that are able to step in. Hiller has at least shown the willingness to play Mervara. I don't know what the pairings have been tonight, but I turned on the TV and he was with Doughty for a little bit. So
yeah, he started with Doughty. Yeah.
So I mean, if Hiller has more of a Mervara, love or appreciation for his game, then I think defensively, they're probably pretty equal, in my opinion, as far as what they bring to the team. I think there's more offensive game with Roy, and I think there's more experience with Roy. So then you risk going into the playoffs with essentially, I don't believe England's played in the playoffs. So 4 guys that have never played in the playoffs. You're essentially relying on a very unexperienced back end. But sometimes you got to take a shot. And I think that if you can get a first for Matt Roy or a conditional first or even a second probably, or second in a prospect, I think you probably take that. You fill up the prospect pool. Yeah, would it be great to get an actual piece like a hockey trade? But we don't see that very often. So I kind of just think that you almost got to take it. If the price is that high, you got to take it. Like you look at like Nashville was in this with Forsberg, but Forsberg is an elite winger. Matt Roy is a bottom 4 defenseman. So Nashville was willing to let those chips ride and not trade him because they had confidence that they were going to sign him in the offseason and that they could sign him and afford it in the cap, where I don't think the Kings are in the same position.
Mm-hmm. Man, I wonder what, like, part of me wants to see Matt Roy get traded just because I want to see what package that he could get.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see how other teams around the league value him. Because, I mean, I've said it. I think he's one of the more underrated defensemen in the league. And if he does get traded, let's say to like Toronto or something like that, which I feel like Toronto would be like you, Joe. I think Joe, you said it. You think it's a perfect landing spot
Perfect
for him.
fit. Yeah.
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 I mean,
Yeah. The question, and I think Brandon brings up a good point too, is like the Kings do got to be realistic, especially they know the injuries. Well, not yet with Kempe, but they know the Anderson injury. They know the Kempe injury. And if they're out, like done, they have to be realistic about their chances in playoffs. So it probably does make sense in that instance to move Roy for a future and then just kind of do a little mini reset here heading into the next season. Um, so I can understand that. I do think Toronto's a great one of the there's a lot of great fits for Matt Roy, let's be honest, of what he brings to a defense group. I would ask you guys, Russ, I'll start with you. What do you think the team's biggest need is at this point? Does the Kempe injury change it? Does the Anderson injury change it? Like where are you at with if the Kings are shoppers, they're buyers at the deadline, what are you shopping for? What do you expect or hope Blake to shop for?
I mean, you have to find a scoring winger, a right shot winger. I feel like at this point, I mean, it sounds like Arvidsson's going to be out long term. They're expecting him back before the end of the season, but even then, you don't know what he's going to be like. And then with Kempe, I don't want to speculate, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look good. So, I mean, if you lose two players like that, I mean, we were jumping for joy when Arvidsson came back, and they were 3-0 during that time. So they looked pretty good. The top line looked like the best it had been so far this year. So, man, like as much as I want to say probably left D, I just don't see them playing. Although, I mean, the Anderson injury kind of hurts that a little bit. But the way the offense is going, I just have to say forward. You have to say scoring winger.
They have a replacement for Anderson in Rivara, at least a capable defenseman. I mean, Anderson is better, but he's a better player. But stylistically, they're stay-at-home defensemen or defensive defensemen, and Rivara stylistically fits that. Where there's nobody that's in the wings or even in the prospect pool that stylistically does what Kempe can do. So you would have to go out and get a scoring winger. What do you think Jake Getzel gets at free agency?
Oh, in free agency?
A lot.
So if they trade for him,
7,
could they afford him
8?
at 7 or 8 million?
No, dude. Like, I think I took
he would be a
screenshot.
first round. He would be worth a first round pick.
I did a little rough draft of the salary cap next year and like re-sign Byfield to that long extension that I think AFP Analytics talked about. He was getting paid like 8.3 over 7 years. Did all the RFAs, so like Byfield, Spence, Turcotte, gave them all the contracts that they're expected, and I think at that point there was probably like $5 million left for 2 forwards and like 2 goalies or a goalie and 1 goalie. I had Portillo on the roster at like $1 million. So it's like, I mean, that's without Matt Roy. That's without Victor Arvidsson.
Yep.
Then what wingers out there? What wingers out there that
I
demand it first, but would give us some scoring?
I was wondering if there's any interest from you guys in like a Vladimir Tarasenko. I don't know. I can see Ottawa moving off of him. He's not somebody that I probably would have been very interested in, but with the Kempe injury, maybe he has a little bit of that scoring depth. Not exactly the biggest fan of his. We've seen teams do these kind of deals where you're getting 2 players. We saw the Kings do it last year with Gavrikov and Korpisalo. Is there a Chychrun plus Tarasenko package? I don't know what Tarasenko on his own nets. So maybe that's a little out there, but I'm also keeping tabs on the contract negotiations with Seattle and Jordan Eberle and what they're going to do. Right shot player, can play power play. You know, he can play in the top 6, can play center, can play wing. I think he's capable. He's somebody that I'm interested in, but I don't know because I don't think Gensel is the swing. I don't know if he's the guy. Maybe he is. I guess if all this cap space opens up because of Kempe's LTIR, I suppose that's a route they could go. But I honestly still think I'd rather try to go a little more on the inexpensive route for a winger, and this team needs an actual top 4 lefty. I genuinely believe that. It doesn't matter if you add a forward, but you don't get anybody on the back end to help get the puck to him, it's going to be a useless trade, in my opinion.
It sounds like we don't make a move and we stand here and get pummeled in the first round. And that's what Joe's saying, because it doesn't look like we're going to be able to make both.
Well, that's why I say if maybe there's a bargain winger that may not break the bank. You break that bank, break it on a defenseman. Okay,
Tarasenko got a first last year, right?
I don't remember what he got. He went to the Rangers, and I do not remember what the cost was, but he was terrible with the Rangers, if I recall. Oh no, he was okay, actually.
Yeah, he was okay. He was actually started off good. He then he slowed down, and I think he did okay in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think they traded a first for him. They got him from maybe, I don't remember, but
I'll have to look back at that. But I mean, that's a name that comes to mind.
There's Riley Smith is out there.
Riley Smith is another one, sure.
It's a decent one.
And he's not having a season, I don't think. A very good season is Riley Smith. And I wonder if that's a guy you get quasi on the cheap, and again, you pay up for the defenseman. And again, if Pittsburgh is remotely interested in selling, I am doing whatever I got to do to ask them for Marcus Patterson.
Sorry, the Blues got Sammy Bloss, prospect Hunter Skinner, a conditional 23 first, and a conditional 4th.
Okay.
What's up with Blaze? Is he even still playing? He's always dealing with some kind of injury, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
See, the thing is,
down. Actually, now I think about it, they traded.
Because here's the thing: it doesn't matter like if you go into the playoffs with this decor, doesn't matter the forward that you bring in. Like honestly, especially if Mikey Anderson's hurt, it's over. They're not getting out of the first round. That's my thought.
What if Anderson's not hurt though? You don't think that they could make it out of the first round with Clark and Spency boy?
That's where it depends, I think, on matchup. But I think I'm worried about Anderson, but I guess we'll see. We'll learn more, I suppose. But so maybe I shouldn't be as worried as I'm making it out to be. But I guys know I like Moverari, but
yeah,
you can't trot a Moverari, Gavrikov, Englund lefty out there and think you're going to win a playoff series.
I mean, we just saw Moverari get tuned up by the Oilers. And that could be a first-round matchup, too.
Yeah.
Looks like we're almost back for the second intermission.
My game's back on. Or the telecast is back on. They're about to drop.
Yeah, they're about to drop on mine, too.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're dropped. Take me out. And we're dropped.
So we'll see. I don't know. I think obviously we'll learn more about Kempe's injury, or at least the status. If they put him to LTIR, that'll be maybe a bit telling. But I don't think this team goes anywhere without an upgrade on the blue line.
I was looking at the LTIR. I think they have like $3 million right now, and that's without Mikey on LTIR. He's on IR right now.
Okay.
And that's without Kempe, obviously.
Ooh,
that wasn't almost. But I think if they put both of them LTIR, it's like $12 million they open up.
Listen, yeah, if they go on, if they both, or even just,
but you activate them too, right? Like at some point,
right? So that's fine.
Just go out and get Sid Crosby and whoever that lefty is from Pittsburgh that you like,
Marcus Patterson.
Yeah.
Or that's Patterson, Matheson. One of those players I freaking love on this team.
Seriously.
Wow, Doughty up there near the top.
There's our fourth, the Kings' fourth shot on goal. They're just trying to just hunker down, No chances.
That was Turcotte with Dubois up at the top.
Oh yeah, no, it's Turcotte with Kopitar and Byfield.
Is it Byfield? Oh, I thought Gavrikov was Dubois.
That Dubois lasted up there like 2 shifts, and I haven't seen him up there since. It's been Fiala, and now it's Turcotte.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the line that everybody thought we were getting when we drafted these players: Turcotte and with Kopitar and Byfield.
Well, I think Byfield. It was funny because I said Byfield the center, and then you had Dubois also center, and then Kopitar centers. Like everyone, our top 3 centers for next year.
Not many teams can do the Edmonton where they just put the juggernaut line together.
They have Dubois, Jad, and Lefebvre back together.
Yeah, this is better than this is what it should be for tonight. I think.
I liked Laffy with Lizotte.
I guess what I mean is Dubois back in the middle.
Yeah,
you know.
Besides that top line that they had.
Yeah. I love this Rasmus Anderson kid.
Oh. Only thing that worries me is when they put those 3 out with like an Anglin and Spence. Oh, just missed the freaking outlet there. Oh.
I mean, if we got rid of Roy and didn't get anything in return, it was kind of a retool. I mean, you see Dallas, they got Wyatt Anderson, they got Stankoven, like 2 guys drafted in the late first. I mean, those get 2 prospects in the late first if we trade Roy for first. I mean,
again, if the injuries are what they are, if they're
legit.
Yeah, if they're legit, if they're bad injuries and they're not coming back or to be expected back, then I totally understand the Kings going that route, and I wouldn't have an issue with it.
This is the best Lizotte look since he's come back, I feel like.
Yeah, he's buzzing.
Isn't this his last year too?
Yeah, he's an RFA. Yeah. I re-signed him too, but they had him projected like a $2.5 million cap hit. I mean, that's another player that although without the injuries of the forwards, I don't see them trading him.
I mean, if Anderson, like worst case scenario, Anderson's out for the long period, Kempe's out for a long period, Arvidsson's out for a long period. It's like, do you trade Lizotte as well and let the kids play in the bottom 6 and see what you got with a lot of these Fagimos, Akil Thomases, those types of guys?
But the thing is, though, like you guys are talking like retool. Like I totally agree. Like that would be like a retool. We got power play coming up. Here we go.
It's not a rebuild because you're not selling off a big piece. You're not
going 100%. Like I totally agree. Like it would be a retool, and that's kind of why I say like when you trade. Joe and I were talking about like you trade Matt Roy. It's not necessarily like I feel like the team's going to be so much worse. They might be. I think they're going to be a little bit worse, but you still get a chance to play Spence and Clark. Although you could still play one of them on the left side, but they've obviously been too reluctant to do that. So, but like. Can Rob Blake afford to do a retool is the thing. If he does end up trading all these future assets, does that buy him another year?
Would you hold it against them if they're like the diagnosis is Anderson out for a long time, Kempe out for a long time? Like, isn't that isn't your job as a GM to assess the condition of your team? Like, that's a realistic thing for me. It would be like, okay, this team's not competing. Like, let's get some assets. Let's move forward.
That was a weird shot, crazy shot by Backlund.
I
don't know,
Brandon.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a conversation I would. I guess I don't know this obviously, but I would guess that is that an ownership or a Luc Robitaille conversation that they need. Everybody's got to be on board with the direction that Blake wants to go in. I mean, we just saw Columbus axe Kekalainen before the deadline. It's probably because they weren't really on board with the direction he wanted to take the team. So if Luc Robitaille or ownership, those above Rob Blake, don't want the direction or the thoughts that Blake has going into the deadline, then they're not going to let him do those things.
Yeah. So,
I don't think Blake's. See, we talked at the start of the season about if the Kings don't make it out of the first round, is Blake fired? Well, it's like, well, or McClellan for that matter. It's like, well, it depends on the circumstance.
Doubt
Like,
it's kind of outside.
what if everybody's hurt in the playoffs again? You got to be realistic. You can't expect to win if you got a team full of injuries. And if you're missing Kempe, Mikey Anderson, Victor Arvidsson, how are you expect to win?
What's up, Al Smith?
Hey, Al.
Yeah, I don't know if the fan sentiment would agree.
I think there'd be a lot of fans that would be pissed off, but
yeah, that's the thing is I don't think that the injuries even then would buy him, because you know what everyone's going to point to is they're ever going to you put yourself in the situation by being so high against the cap with the Pierre block rate. Like normally, if you go through these injuries and you kind of make some adjustments, make a move or two, I understand that you're losing like three top guys at that point: Arvidsson, Kempe, and Anderson. But even then, man, I don't know. I think the expectations are pretty high. You only got a couple more years of Kopitar, really.
Yeah.
As a fan, I'd be disappointed, but I would understand. I'd be like, okay, we don't know. These guys might be back. They might not be back. We might make the playoffs. We might not make the playoffs because they're injuries. Let's get what we can for these guys. Let's hope our young players can keep us afloat until we get there, and then let's see what they can do. I mean, it's not like Clark hasn't shown he's an NHL defenseman.
No, and it's like you're gonna. I mean, he's gonna have to start playing sooner or later, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, what if the offense from the blue line goes to a next level because you play an offensive defenseman back there?
Look at that pass that the lefty just made for Calgary through the middle in a bit of had to get it not through traffic, but that just doesn't happen. And now he turns it over, of course. But
dude, Lizotte is he's buzzing. Trevor Lewis.
Oh, Delac, you're talking dirty words for Joe there. Joe's a big Jad guy.
Jad's looking pretty good.
I like Jad. I'm a Jad fan. I think he does a lot of things well. He's a good guy to have on your roster.
I mean, at this point, it's got to we can't complain about forward personnel. No one else to play.
No one else to play. Yeah, but Jad, you know what's funny? Jad, a couple years ago, when I first started Hockey Royalty, I wrote why Blake Lizotte should get the fourth line center role, and I was laughed out of town because Jad had just come off a really good year. Now everybody hates Jad, and it's like, guys, I didn't say he shouldn't get the job because he was a bad player. I just really like what Lizotte did, and Jad has been a solid player in the AHL and NHL.
Been a solid role player.
Yeah, yes, that's what I mean. Yes, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
He doesn't do anything exceptionally well, but he's not he's just a jack of all trades, master of none type player.
He is a younger, better Trevor Lewis.
Okay.
Fair.
Oh. Man, there is this thing with Hiller's changed so much, right? In these last, and a lot of it's due to injuries and whatnot.
Yeah.
But he's just so keen on keeping Moore and Deneau together. Maybe we've seen Moore, I guess, at times be, even just in the last game we saw him moved off. But that's the one pair that's just consistently playing together.
And we've never seen, at least for any real period of time, Moore and Dubois. And I wonder, I still would like to get a look at that.
Oh, it worked right away in the last game. The one shift I remember. Yeah, neither goalie's been really tested here, huh?
No.
Hiller
Touche, like you do. He says, "Oh, contraire, Joe. I never liked John." Fair enough.
Hiller's liking what he's seeing out of Jad tonight. Oh.
I've always called him the perfect 13th forward. Holden says this is hard to watch. Only 5 shots on goal halfway through the game. Yes, but it's not as if Calgary's doing much, and I think this is exactly the way. This is Kings hockey.
This is how the Kings used to get beat.
This is Kings hockey in a way.
We used to outshoot people like this and then give up a crappy goal.
Yeah, they're just going to try to muck it up back to back. All these injuries.
Yep. And I'm one that is generally one going to really complain about a game like this, but this is a tough spot. It's a tough spot in a back-to-back. It's a tough spot with the injuries.
Hey, if they win 1-0 or even lose 2-1 in overtime, I don't think anyone's gonna be too upset.
Like you said, you get a point out of this game. I think that's well done.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Blake's got the wheels today. Get there, England.
I wonder what we're going to see now with Kopitar, because
nice assist there, Turcotte.
He's been with Kempe now for a while.
Oh, and they hit the referee.
It looks like it. They were so worried about finding another winger for them that now with Kempe out, we may see a lot of Kopitar, Byfield, and then a rotation of guys to see who clicks, who fits.
Yeah.
I thought Leferrier was good there.
This is Hiller just trying to find something that works. You've seen Turcotte a couple times last few shifts at the wing with Kopitar. They haven't looked too bad. Whoa.
I'd like to see Leferrier there, and then maybe put Turcotte with Dubois. I'd be okay seeing that.
Man, shots 12-5.
I'll tell you, LA Kings.
Are we slow?
LA Kings Nick with the.
He just really loves Turcotte.
Okay.
LA Kings Nick loves Turcotte. It was Doughty calling out Trevor Moore, and it was probably around that time that I don't know that the Moore slump kind of started around then. I mean, Moore
I think it was Fiala.
I don't know. Maybe.
Doesn't matter anymore. It's like both things could be true. Somebody was calling you out there again, Joe. Like, I think you can want, and if you listen to the podcast, Joe doesn't want Jad to play over Turcotte if that's the situation.
No.
But two things could also be true. Like, he could want Turcotte to play, but also think Jad is a good player.
Correct. Perfect.
Yeah.
I guess perfect 13th forward. You spot him in as needed.
You play him over Kaliev?
There's times I would.
I'm so glad that we got Kaliev in the lineup so people could see that.
We're on a break. We're on a break right now. Kaliev's bitching and moaning. Hey, you got your time now, buddy. You're getting some ice time now. You better start putting some pucks in the net, because now your opportunity's been given to you. Will you seize it and take it for what it's worth, or will you let it go by the wayside?
This is what I've been saying.
Look at him now.
Back to, he's been given opportunities in the past, and I don't think he's shown spurts. He's shown here and there. There's nothing that's been a consistent.
He's been perfectly fine on the power play.
Joe, Nav wants to know, do you keep Kaliev next year, or do you trade him?
He is I think he's a trade piece. I think he could be a valuable chip in a trade, whether that's at this deadline or whether that's
right.
Oh crap.
Dunno.
That was a smacker.
Ooh, that went off Anderson's stick?
I think so.
So fun. About time. Here we go, Phil.
First goal in what, 16 games? This is like one of those old like NHL 97 goals. He just like
Yep,
rears
that went off
back.
his stick.
That had to, I was about to say that had to ride up a stick. That was a nice pass by Moore. Yeah, it rode up a stick, and there's Markstrom's never going to stop that.
Guys, this is how the Flames lose games. They control the game and then they lose.
Flames like been here before. You guys are just nothing surprising.
This is
I don't know.
Joe's pain every week.
What do you guys think on Kaliev? I think if he is a piece that can be used, again, I don't know if that's at the deadline or if that's in the off season. You know, it seems that he's fallen kind of out of favor in Los Angeles.
He needs a new start.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't trade him. He's 22 years old.
I get that too.
I mean, what are you getting for him, first of all? And what is he really going to cost you? He's going to be like $1 million, $1.5 maybe $1 million player with control for a couple more years.
Oh
Whoa.
my goodness. What a pass. Wow. And I don't know what happened there on the blue line.
Talbot just got absolutely cooked.
That can't happen.
Yeah, how did he get wide open like that? Like, you never see that happen.
Let's see, is that Moverari that got toasted? No, that's Gavrikov.
What's going on here?
Mangiapane. His name reminds me of a
No, I think that's on Roy. What is Roy doing?
No, it's Gavrikov. I think it was Gavrikov.
Yeah, Gavrikov was on the right because Moverari's right there.
There was Moverari.
Okay.
There was two lefties. Lefties on the ice.
Maybe Gavrikov's not used to playing on that side.
That's
you had two lefties out there.
Blast.
They looked like because they looked like they were trying to set up the 1-3-1. So I was waiting for I was wondering why the lefty was on that side to begin with. So I thought maybe Roy was playing down in the middle in the back part, but
there wasn't
Moverari
one.
was too wide. And Gavrikov.
Let me see it again here. Yeah, Gavrikov. I don't think Moverari's ever going to catch him there.
Because what are you trying to do? You're trying to.
Wow, that's so crazy. Danault hasn't scored at home all year.
That is crazy.
All 11 goals have been on the road.
Usually, when the Kings do the 1-3-1, it's the right D that's falling back. So it's a winger on that right side. Or a forward. Maybe not a winger, but a forward on that right side. I don't know what happened there leading. I'd have to watch the play kind of leading up to that to see. Yeah, to see.
That's right. Yeah, Moverari is supposed to be playing the blue line, so he was in the right spot.
In how they usually do it, yeah, I would say Moverari was in the right spot, and I'm not sure if Gavrikov was just caught flat-footed, if he was going for a change, or if he was getting on, or what happened there. But Mangiapane
not going to put out Gavrikov and Moverari at the same time.
It must have been mid-change there, and it was it Hannafin that made the pass, and it was a great. I mean, Mangiapane he just put Gavrikov in him. It was in a tough spot.
Yeah, he just cooked Talbot.
That's a very nice move too. And Mangiapane, by the way, the real bread man, not Panarin, because pane is bread in Italian.
Okay.
So
I see it.
He's the Mangia is obviously eat bread. That's the real bread man, in my opinion.
Really? So, okay, I didn't know that.
Yes.
The more you know.
Yeah. His name translates to eat bread in Italian. So he's obviously one of my favorite players.
He's literally got the words bread in his name. Yeah.
Yes.
The Panarin one is such a reach, I feel like.
It is a reach.
They're just trying to be like Boston. They want to have a player with the food. They're number one winger. New York and Boston feud,
Yeah.
That was Hannafin with the pass too.
I mean, the pasta nickname in Boston's just kind of perfect.
It works. It works.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Dalek says "pan" is French for bread.
Okay,
So
fair
you
enough.
still got Panarin. I thought it was just because it was close to Panera.
No, I never thought that. I thought it was had to do
No?
with the Italian
Okay, I'm wrong.
pronunciation, but I didn't know the French part.
Okay.
So that's fair.
Pan is also Spanish for bread.
Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense.
Pan.
I'll stand down.
There's a lot of people that predicted Dano to be the first King scorer. That was kind of funny too. I was trying to go back and find it.
Holden,
all waiting.
Mangiapane is a player. Mangiapane. Oh, is he making a cook joke? Maybe he's making a. That could be
yeah.
funny. Holden, if that's a joke, I think that's very funny.
Oh, come on, Gavrikov.
Oh my God, Markstrom.
How does that not go in?
Damn it.
Oh boy.
Wow.
This party really died.
Well, this is not good. And it appears, at least I have to see the replay, Coleman got through Dubois.
Man,
Let's see
Dubois
what
has been having these last back-to-back worst games
How did
since
this not
Hiller's
go
taken
in?
over.
So what happens here? Roy in the corner, Dubois, Roy.
It's
They both
tipped.
lose the battle.
It was a shot.
Talbot's been not great.
Oh, did it just go off Coleman?
And in?
Oh, that was just.
It went off Talbot, and then
Dubois.
it was a back.
Dubois did have his stick. Dubois did lift the stick, but he still got a stick. It was kind of weird. I guess I can't totally. Although I don't know how Dubois and Roy lose the 2-on-1 battle in the corner that leads to that, but
Damn, 2-1. That's not. The Kings trailing in this game is not where they want to be.
they're not exactly built to chase right now, Russ.
Oh man, the panic meter is going to be sky high if they go 0-3 on this roadie here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Markstrom, holy cow. So
we had no goals, and then we had 3 goals in a span of a minute 44.
but like they're still so comfortable. Or maybe they're not. I mean, 6 points up in playoffs at this stage it's a decent lead.
They have a really easy schedule too to end.
They're the easiest schedule out of all the playoff competitive teams in the Pacific. Kings are 20. I looked this up yesterday. I was talking to somebody on Twitter. They were 24th before the Edmonton game.
Nashville's going to win today.
Ooh. Were they playing?
Ottawa at home.
Oh. I mean, what's this next homestand? Kings have a 5-game homestand coming up, which is probably going to make or break the rest of their season. I feel
They only have 3 games before the trade deadline, so at home.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know if it was Rusty, you just said if they lose this stretch here, Calgary, Vancouver, then they go home and play New Jersey. That's not going to be a cakewalk. I know they're not having a great season, but
even Ottawa's playing better.
Yeah, like this is it. You have to have a sense of realism, especially with the injuries. Yeah, this is, and what a fall from where this team was in November, right? December. It's crazy.
Guess that's why you play all 82.
Ooh. Oh, hopefully Phil's okay. Get up, Phil. He's all right. You went into the board's kind of rough there. All right. Let's get this power play going.
What do you guys think of, because I texted you guys in our thread, but what do you guys think of the rumor of the Four Nations tournament taking place instead of the All-Star game, like in lieu of it? So they're not going to have an All-Star game. They're just going to have the tournament instead.
I'm
I
fine
mean, I
with it.
think the tournament's stupid, but whatever. That's fine.
The tournament is stupid, but the fact that they're still going to do the Olympics, it's like I'm cool with it. I mean, at this point, I'm just like, well, why are you even doing this tournament anyway? It's just kind of
Right.
feels.
The
Yeah,
tournament, I don't believe is stupid. I just don't think it's as good as it could be.
Well, but yeah, because exactly. That's what makes it stupid.
Would you rather? I mean, I'd rather have a best on best tournament than watching some people not care about the All-Star game, right?
It's
Like,
fair.
I mean,
yeah,
Sure.
100%.
Sure.
Yeah. You
But
also
I'd
have to
rather-
get their buy-in to this tournament too, which I'm sure they probably would. I mean, it would be the first time they've been able to represent their country in a while.
the NBA put up $1 million for the All-Star game. Why couldn't they put up $1 million for the team? And they're only allowing NHL players, so it's not like you're
right.
bringing in whoever from another country to pay them, right? So I just want to be able to chant USA at the screen. Okay.
No,
Stop trying to douse my dreams there, Joe.
I want to have a reason to root for the Kachucks. So give me that.
I
Fair
do
enough.
think it's a travesty. I'm just tired of people punishing Russian players for their government.
Dude, hey, so what do you guys think? I've had people reach out to me and ask me what the Kings would offer for Brady Tkachuk. Like, do you think Ottawa trades Tkachuk?
No.
I mean,
no, I don't.
I didn't think Calgary was going to trade Tkachuk, so
right.
But didn't Brady just sign a long-term deal there?
Yeah, Brady signed there. He's the captain of the team. Like he's not going anywhere.
That could have been a lot worse.
The guys that could go.
Player we need though.
So no. You want. Here's the thing. You want a guy from Ottawa. You want a guy from Ottawa that can impact the top six, maybe a right shot, creative player, maybe Claude Giroux.
Really?
But he's got another year.
Yeah.
He's got another year.
Would then he just take the place of Arvidsson next year?
Because I think because Ottawa, I don't think they're going to sell, but I think they're going to kind of, again, like we were talking with the Kings, I think they're going to retool a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a couple of moves just to kind of reshape some things and readjust. So I don't know, but Giroux, assistant captain, he's a no movement clause, so that's probably a bit far fetched. But Tarasenko could go.
Tarasenko is interesting. I don't know.
UFA.
He helped the Rangers power play.
Yeah, he did.
At this time, you'd be looking for what, like a mid-range prospect or a third? Conditional third that turns a second if the Kings make it to the Western Conference, something like that.
I don't see how the Kings trade their first-round pick. I mean, maybe even a second-round pick.
Again, because you're looking right here, he played the right circle where Kempe played on the power play. I think if I do that, I genuinely try to see what Ottawa's appetite is for a Tarasenko plus Chychrun.
So
the Jacob Chychrun rumors never die, Joe.
They won't.
Never.
Well, I also, again, I come back to the fact that he's under contract next year. I think that's the type of move, if you're the Kings, if you're Rob Blake, that's trying to make a move that isn't an all-in move for this year because of the situations, but it can still set you up for next year. It's getting a guy that has some sort of term left on the deal.
Yeah.
Nice back check by Kaliev. Maybe you go out for a change, big boy.
But the Kings don't have a second or third round.
Oh.
That's a problem.
Oh. Man, those shots that Moore used to take, they were going in at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
Ooh. I don't know though, Joe. I mean, I think we already have the 3 lefty on the roster ready for next year, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Which is scary.
It's just not good enough. It just isn't.
2-1, 210 left. Man, that 2-year deal for England is looking kind of rough, huh?
I just
kind of rough.
I got nothing, Russ.
Yeah, I don't know what they do there.
Rougher than
I mean,
sandpaper in the
obviously,
Bonnie.
they have the plan. They have an idea of what they're probably going to run into next year, but yeah, the defensive core that we're still looking for that left puck mover.
It's been ages.
It's been 84 years.
Well, because they're structured in a way, and I know we've talked about this, and it's everybody sees it. Defensive defenseman with a puck mover. That's kind of the way they're set up, except for their middle pair is defensive defenseman and defensive defenseman, and the bottom pair is I don't even call England a defensive defenseman. He's a body and a puck mover. So it's like you're really limiting your upside here to do anything from the blue line, anything at all. And it's just been a problem of mine for a long time.
I think what sucks too is that Gavrikov and Roy were so good, and they started off pretty good, but they haven't been as good.
None of the deep pairs have been as good this year. Dowdy and Anderson.
Yeah.
Something changed. There's some teams had to get their scouting reports ready or something.
Oh, and again, remember the sample really wasn't that big. Gavrikov had 20 regular season games, right? That's
Here we go, Anderson Dolan.
Not huge. I was talking to somebody on Twitter was asking questions about what happened to Gavrikov. He was a productive defenseman last year. I said that was not Gavrikov. He had almost a point. He was over half point a game with the Kings last year. I think he had 10, 11 points in 20 games in the regular season. So if you were expecting that type of production from Gavrikov, you were very mistaken. We talked about before the season, him and Roy, both of their point totals.
Oh, go Kev!
For like 20.
There we go.
Let's go, Kev.
Oh, what a goal!
That was a nasty backhand, huh?
Yeah. There we go.
Fiala with Kopitar and Byfield.
Yep. Like I said, they're gonna roll. He's gonna just try to find what works up there.
That was a nasty backhand.
Markstrom had a chance to corral that too.
Oh, that was disgusting.
What a play by Byfield. Makes the dish center lane drive, opens it up, bang. Just simple, well-executed hockey.
Oh, Uyghur's broke his stick. He's upset.
Not happy.
He's not having a good time. I was saying when I was on here by myself, I was like, I'd love to see Fiala just kind of go through or have one of those stretches where he just like puts up like 8 points over like a 5-game stretch or something. Just him really step it up. Maybe start giving him a little bit more minutes if he can be a reliable two-way kind of guy. Oh, nice play, Dowdy. Double shifting this line.
Why not? That was a good play by Gavrikov.
Remember all those calls for change the line and then mix it up throughout the game with McClellan? We're getting everything we wanted with Hiller.
For sure.
Oh man, I was trying to find like how many forward
randomizer on the bench. He's like hitting a randomizer, and he's like, "You guys are out there."
How many lines are played like at least 5 minutes together? Probably the combos compared to with McClellan.
Let's see here. What's that? Money puck?
To know what was that?
Whoa.
Did you see that pass he made in the neutral zone? What was that?
You don't see that too often from him.
All right. 2-2. That was a electric second period compared to the first. I was trying to find NHL trade targets. Here, let's go. Let's go to this list. Who should we do? Let's go
Oh, we're starting this segment again. Okay. Let me put this one
TSN.
in.
Well, I want to see what forwards intrigue Joe. I want to see.
Let's play a
what
game
piques
called
his-
Let's Intrigue Joe.
Yeah, I like this game. Let's play this game. This is the part of the program where we try to pique Joe's interest. All right, let's see. I got this trade list on from TSN. It's loading. We're loading.
What's Gensel's injury status, by the way?
We're still loading.
He's skating now.
Okay.
Come on now. No.
Is there a way to see lines on
Hold on.
Natural Stat Trick?
I was trying to look at a list. They only
Yes,
do combos,
Brandon.
I think. for
Yeah,
forwards.
I've only seen defensive
wrong?
pairs.
If you go to under players, do line tool, click on the Kings, and then you can select 3 players that play together.
I'm looking at something. Somebody said Jacob A says we need hockey royalty tinfoil hat merch.
with Chikrin's name on it.
Yeah, we should just sell Chikrin jerseys. You know, just screw it. Just might as well at this point. Who cares? He might never be a king, but we're selling those jerseys anyway. Let's see if I can get this to work.
He's honorary. Yeah.
Here we go. This is BetMGM's trade deadline player rankings. Oh, they have rankings for him.
Wow. What do
Gensel's
we have
number
here?
1. Hannafin. Can you guys see it okay?
Yep, I zoomed it in so I can see it.
I'm trying to figure this out.
So Gensel is interesting. I go back to the D's not gonna. It's not enough. You know what I mean? Like it's not enough. Like unless
So you're saying your main target is left D. It sounds like
my main card is still D.
So you're looking at Noah Hannafin on this list.
Not to say that the forward isn't a need. I just think it doesn't matter. I think I put much more importance on the blue line, and if you can't, if the Kings can't improve there, I don't think it matters how good Gensel is. I don't think the D-core can sustain if you play. Look at these matchups they could play.
Oh,
they're not going to beat Edmonton. They're not going to beat Dallas.
Look at okay. Listen to this, guy. So I was just like looking at lines. So I did Anze Kopitar and Quentin Byfield in the Sense Hiller, and when they've been paired together, 64% goals for percentage. When it's just been Byfield on the line, but no Kopitar, 55. But without Quentin Byfield, Anze Kopitar has an 11% goals for percentage without Quentin Byfield.
Do you have the total? What's the total there?
Without
Byfield?
Playing together, they're 35 minutes. Lines with just Byfield without Kopitar, 92 minutes. But Anze Kopitar, 84 minutes.
What's the goals for and against with Kopitar by himself? Do you have that number?
Yeah, the goals for is 11%, and the goals.
What about the raw numbers?
Total? The raw number.
1-8.
Oh, he's been outscored 8-1 without Byfield. Yeah,
like looking at this list,
carrying every line. It seems like he's on.
It does. Looking at this list, Russ. Like again, I really think. If you add Gensel. Like I guess best case scenarios, you add Gensel and then Kempe returns in playoffs and or Arvidsson returns, and you're just loaded up front. But I don't know. Like,
but then hopefully we're back to outscore like 4 goals a game that we were in the beginning of the season, and then that's how you win.
I don't know that it matters. I really think that
But Gensel's going to get a first, so then you are.
Gensel's going to get at least that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other part is, are the Kings going to be willing to pay that price to get them to maybe get out of the first round? I don't think the deal makes sense for the Kings. And that's why Hannafin probably doesn't make a lot of sense, because he's a rental. Right. And I don't know that it makes a whole lot of sense for the Kings to do that. Because I'm a big fan of the player.
Above Chikrin?
Yeah.
Tarasenko?
I that's why
even but when like they have Gavrikov and Anderson signed next year. So
I know.
if you're trying to make an upgrade at lefty, then
I know
you have to be able to convince me that you're willing to play Gavrikov or whoever you're upgrading. I mean, you're talking about upgrading, so you're essentially talking about a player who's better than Gavrikov, maybe even better than Anderson. So you have to be able to convince somebody to play the $4 million Anderson or the $6 million Gavrikov third pair minutes.
Yeah.
Which is the tough part, right? I mean, that was
What do you think Hannafin gets if we
in a trade?
Get Gavrikov? No. What do you think he gets per year?
He's probably getting
more than Gavrikov.
8 by 7. Does he
More
get
than
7?
Gavrikov.
Yeah, he's better. I mean, you're right, Russ. You're 100% right. But Anderson, Gavrikov, Englund ain't going to do it, and it is not good enough. So, like, it is not a good enough group, and we're going to have the same conversation next year about having to upgrade lefty, because they keep thinking that it's 2010. Well, they think it's 2010 and they need to have a defensive defenseman that's allergic to the puck with a puck mover. And that's a problem. You know, that's poor roster construction. I think you have to have guys that are a little bit more capable and a little bit more willing with the puck. And I'm sorry, like, they don't have any of those guys on the left side, you know. And that's not to say that Anderson isn't a good player and that Gavrikov isn't a valuable defenseman for what they bring. Gavrikov's not a $6 million defenseman, in my opinion. Mikey Anderson, I think, is paid appropriately at 4 and change. Like, I think that's probably about right. I would say that's where probably, you know, Gavrikov is maybe a little above that. Maybe he's about 5, but, you know, that's it, because there's no offense there. There's no moving of the puck there. There's no getting out of your zone. You know, there's no playmaking there. That, to me, that limits totally what you can do on the blue line, and that's a huge problem.
What about Bowman?
I love this. I mean,
how much better is Hannafin than Gavrikov?
So I think Hannafin is comfortably better than Gavrikov. But, like, to be clear, like, I don't think Hannafin is like a top, like, 10 defenseman in the NHL or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, he's not Miro Heiskanen. You know, he's not Thomas Harley.
I love that dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Dallas has 2 of those guys. Like, he's not that level. But he's not he's more comfortable with the puck. And I do think he's better overall player than Gavrikov. But Russ is right. Like, this is why, you know, I was okay with the Gavrikov signing, because it was so short. I wasn't that interested in Gavrikov, you know, on a long-term deal, because he has limited abilities with the puck. Not to say he can't still be a good defenseman on an NHL team. He's not Andreas Englund. But then they went out and doubled down and got Andreas Englund for 2 years. So this is a problem, I think. I don't think you can win in today's NHL when half of your decor is so with the puck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's, you know, Vegas. I know people talk about Vegas and they had big defensemen. And yeah, they had a big defenseman. Those defensemen can play. Those defensemen can skate. Those defensemen can move the puck. And they're big. It's the perfect storm. You know, the Kings don't have Shea Theodore.
Yeah. They don't have
Petrangelo either. Petrangelo plays really well.
I saw a replay of that Mangiapane goal, and they kind of Gavrikov like definitely bit way too early on the outside pass and tried to prevent that pass, and then Mangiapane just beat him inside. But I don't know what. It's so infuriating watching this lineup without Clark and Spence, especially since you're like you just said, Joe, you're waiting for some better movement in terms of the puck or just even skating ability. And like with how limited it seems like this offense has been of late, like why don't you just like you're so focused on defense, and the system is so focused on defense, and the play style that the Kings play, it almost elevates players that aren't great on defense to be better defenders, like we talked about with England at the beginning of the year, like you just said with Gavrikov. So it's like, why are then you so worried about playing Clark or Spence on the left side when you're just the team identity is defense, when that should be everybody's mindset, so that when you do that, then you at least unlock whenever the opportunity arises, you at least have those players in place to make plays on the left side.
Yeah.
And that's why we get so upset.
And I think the other part of it is the Kings don't have high-end star talent up front in terms of playmaking, especially. Like Kempe scored 40 goals. Like obviously this year has been a down year in that sense. So, you know, but he's not like that playmaking all-around star player. Kevin Fiala is the closest thing they have to that. I know Quentin Byfield is making his case to be that player, and it looks like he's on the trajectory, which is great. But, you know, not if he's projected to get in the 60s in points right now, he's obviously not there yet. Okay. So if you don't have that up front and you don't have it in the back, why are you surprised when you don't score goals?
100%.
Are we at the point where Quentin Byfield is now our best player?
Oh, yeah. He's been our best player since probably the turn of the year.
You said Byfield?
Yeah, right now. Would you say he's our best player?
It was funny. I think I almost tweeted it the other day. I'm like, is Quentin Byfield the team's best player right now? And I don't think the answer is no. I think it's yes, like comfortably at this point.
We've sacrificed all this talk, all this talk of waiting for Byfield to emerge and have a breakout season. It's like almost we've sacrificed team success just for Quentin Byfield to have this excellent season, which I guess isn't the worst thing in the world, because when you're going to build around a player like Byfield, who's only 21, obviously, and he's second overall pick, for him to have this season, I guess, just is exciting at least. So you still have something, like you're not just kind of stuck here as an 8 seed without anything to look forward to in the future. You still have these players that can make impacts, and I think that could be what ends up saving Rob Blake is this season from Byfield, and the fact you still have Brant Clark waiting in the wings, who's shown a little bit of flash. But is that going to be what ownership wants?
Right. So I saw some comments because the question about Bowen Byram earlier, and there's some comments about Byram's metrics and his season. Yeah. Byram is having a very down season right now. I'm perfectly fine pouncing on that and trying to see if, you know what, Colorado is very much win right now, right? They are very much, let's go win a cup. I think their biggest need is down the middle as a centerman. So I don't know what they're going to look to do. But when you're talking about a team, and I guess I should pull up their roster. I was off the top of my head. I don't know.
We play Turcotte, and we trade them Lizotte plus futures for Byram.
Well, what I was thinking was, do they
need a middle six?
They got Gerard, they got Manson, so they may not. I mean, like
they play 5 lefties. They have 5. They have 5 lefties.
Could Matt Roy look good in a Colorado uniform, solidifying that back end if we're getting Bowen Byram in return? But to your question earlier, Russ, although at that point I think you got to take Englund out of the lineup at that point, right, and play Bowen Byram. Like I'm looking at next year, right?
Their third pair is Jack Johnson and Bowen Byram. So I mean, you could probably use a right defenseman there.
So here's the thing with that, Russ. For those worried about Bowen Byram, if you're playing an entire season with Jack Johnson, let's see how you do. Okay. So I'm willing to buy if they're willing to sell Byram on a bad season paired with Jack Johnson, give me him. Give me all of him. And then put him with, I don't know, Jordan Spence or Brant Clark.
If he can turn Matt Roy into Bowen Byram, that's an absolute win in my book.
Listen, yeah, I'm not I'm sure there's more to that deal type
Yeah.
of thing, but like if that's
I mean, is there though? I mean, we're talking. Look at what the perception is on Bowen Byram right now, and I'm sure Avs fans maybe probably feel the same. Although, last I read, I think they said that he's been playing much better lately. But yeah, I mean, everybody sees the metrics. Everybody outside the work, Colorado sees the metrics.
well, and obviously Colorado they're okay without Byram. You've got Makar, you've got Sam Girard, you've got Devon Taves. Devon Taves is locked up forever. Makar's not going.
Yeah.
So they're in really, really good shape. And is Girard a lefty too?
Yeah.
I think. Lefty. Yeah. So they're fine. Though Byram can.
Is Byram good enough to play first line minutes for us?
He doesn't know. Well, but the thing is he doesn't have to because he doesn't have to yet. But I think he could because you got Anderson, Doughty. I think they run that back. Gavrikov gets paired with either Clark or Spence. And then this would be the shift in the organization is being willing to play Bowen Byram with either Clark or Spence and really change kind of the look of your decor now. And maybe under Hiller, they're willing to do that because we're seeing the 1-3-1. We're seeing some of this stuff. They're not going to change that midseason. It's too big of a change, I think, at this point. Maybe the offseason, a new coach. I don't know if it'll be Hiller, but maybe they bring somebody else in and you start to see a totally different looking LA Kings team that requires capable defensemen. Where the 1-3-1 perfectly suits Anderson, Gavrikov, and even Englund at the start of the season. If you get a new coach that's going to go away from that, well, now all of a sudden you may need more out of your defenseman, right? Rather than that.
Man, the sentiment around Byram is that he's just awful, and I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, in fairness, I have not watched enough Colorado.
You have to think about like all that he's kind of gone through, right? Like wasn't he going through concussion stuff or something injury related, like a lot of injuries or something. During the playoffs, he was one of their best players.
Yeah, and at what is he, 22?
22 years old.
I'm okay.
I mean, if people are like, if I'm Rob Blake and I can get Bowen Byram for Matt Roy 1-for-1, I'm doing that trade like today.
So Byram hasn't been healthy his entire career. He's missed a total of 126 games through his first 3 years with the Avalanche.
Yeah, he's been going through some injuries or something.
He's had concussion issues twice.
Yeah,
he missed half the season last year with a lower body injury. So, I mean, you're looking at. We talked about it for Byfield. You know how often he was injured the previous years and not being able to get consistent ice time. You know, maybe Byram's is just being.
I mean, I'm thinking like if you can have a defensive pair or defensive core of Byram, Clark, and Spence to build around.
Now you're talking, Russell.
Now that's like there's some promises, and like I get it. Like but what are the risks there? You're getting a 22-year-old defenseman who's top 5 pick who's shown the capability to play well in big games already, and I get like, and that's why like Alex, like I see Alex saying like there's red flags. Am I behind again? Do we score?
No.
Oh. So
I'm at 19.
Out of curiosity here, Russ, I'm going to look up
what is happening. Why are they blowing the whistle? Doughty. What were you say, Joe?
No, okay. His most common defense partners this year have been Josh Manson and Sam Girard. It has not been Jack Johnson, most commonly. He has played quite a bit with Jack Johnson. That's his third most, but and yeah, they're definitely everybody's better without Byram.
Yeah, Byram hasn't been that great this year. But I don't know. I feel like
didn't he ask for a trade, or he wanted a new scenery because he thinks his earning potential is capped where he's at?
I don't know if he's publicly
wasn't that
asked
the
for
rumor?
I think that's kind of the rumor. Yeah. I mean, you kind of just look at their lineup. I think isn't Taves is a righty? No,
Taves is a lefty. Devon Taves is a lefty.
Oh, Taves. That's right. They play him with McCarr.
Yeah.
And then
McCarr's
Gerard is the other lefty. What was that? Easy, Fiala.
Manson's
so yeah,
a righty,
their two
right?
lefties are Gerard and Taves.
They're not going anywhere.
So yeah, and neither one. I think Gerard is signed long term too. But
the thing is, well,
they'd probably be more willing to move Gerard. That was a terrible pass by Fiala.
You think they move Gerard? Obviously not now, but
not now. Maybe in the offseason, that could be a player that gets moved.
I'm a fan of Sam Gerard's. But
he's
the
got
thing
a pretty
is,
hefty.
Colorado doesn't. They need a second to compete for a cup. They need a second line center. So I just don't think that if they trade Byram, I just have to imagine that comes for a center. Maybe not. Maybe there's two separate trades.
You know which Kings player would be perfect for the Avs? Who would which King? Okay, let's say you could if you're the Avalanche and which Kings player would you think would be perfect for them besides Kopitar or Doughty?
Right. Well, I do think.
Who do you think I'm thinking about?
I answered your question twice and I forgot I'm still muted. I was like, dude, I'm responding to you, man.
Are you gonna say Calais?
I said Philippe Deneau twice.
Philippe Deneau.
Oh, okay. You're right. That's the answer.
I mean, could you imagine him? Oh, could you imagine him behind McKinnon?
Yeah, that's
perfect. You can have Deneau take all the defensive stuff, all the D zone face-offs.
That's their hole right now.
Do you think you could get Byram in a first for Deneau?
Probably.
No. Well, I guess maybe.
I bet you could. With the term that he signed to, you could.
He's got 3 more years after this.
Listen.
You should put that tinfoil hat back on.
Yeah.
If I'm spouting crazy stuff like this, you better.
Yeah, we're talking crazy. Oh, go Kelly. Oh,
because they need a second. They need a second line center though, and I don't think the Kings are a trade to know.
No.
But if Henrique is the next best, at least widely publicly available centerman, then that could be 2 separate trades. That could be they trade a first for Henrique, which is kind of crazy that Henrique could get a first.
That's insane. He's a free agent this summer, right?
I think, yeah, he is. Then maybe there's a deal there for Byram if they're willing to move off of him for the Kings. But the Kings, listen, they're not going to do that because they clearly don't like that player type.
Yeah.
So until they move off of that, that could be a telltale sign that they're willing to go in a different direction play style is if you see them acquire Bo Byram.
When I asked Hiller about when I asked him the Rover question, he gave me that answer.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of you. I was like, Joe's gonna fucking hate this. Gonna hate this answer.
And I was okay with his answer right up until you said we're trying to get the Rover out of him. It's like, well, slow it down. You don't got to take it out of him. You want to rein it in a bit. You want to pick.
Let's take this guy's best skill set and eliminate it from his game.
You want to coach him up.
I understand. I understand where he's coming from. There would be at times when shoot that Kopi. Oh, there'd be times where you're like, okay, Clark, you need to that one shift. I think it was against Columbus. I think that one. Stuff. Yeah, it was still fun to watch, and there was a lot of stuff happening. At least
I mean, it's the Manny being Manny, man. Like, yeah, he can walk up
Yeah,
a wall
exactly.
and do whatever, but he's going to hit you 45 bombs. So who cares?
The Kings need to have somebody willing to play with way less structure. If you're
Mhm.
gonna let Clark be Clark and a bit like, which is
Oh
which
man,
I-
whenever you see Clark and Fiala on the ice together, there's like magic happening. I mean,
so
for
here,
both
so,
teams.
so here's the thing though, isn't it a little odd?
It's like Goku and
As
Vegeta when they fight together. They just go Super Saiyan at the same time. They're all dancing and moving and stuff.
as we're having this conversation, it's like the Kings are such a structured hockey team. It probably is one of the more structured teams in the league, especially under McClellan. And so
Mhm.
they go and bring in a Kevin Fiala and you draft a Brant Clark. What I guess is the goal here? What are you
Yeah.
looking to do? Because those aren't players that you fit into a structure per se. You know, you have to. I don't know. The more
Doubt
you
In the
Yellows.
think about
great words of Mark Wahlberg, he's a peacock, and you got to let him fly.
that, and this is
Oh,
true.
man. I feel like Dubois relies on his body too much at times. He plays. He plays with he plays with one hand on his stick way too much. Is what
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Well,
That needs to stop.
he doesn't stop. What bothers me the most about Dubois, and it's one thing that I harp on real hard with my players is stopping on pucks, stopping on checks. Watch and I'm sure I don't have to tell people this; they already know. But like the amount of times he does flybys and skates by his checks, you know, rather than
Mhm.
stop on them, that's one thing that really frustrates me about him this season. There's times where he's on it. Oh boy, is Markstrom hurt or just a
No,
pad?
he's
Oh, okay. Yeah, like that's my biggest gripe with him is he doesn't stop on stuff and nearly enough. And that's like you gotta
well, his
do
laces.
that's a minimal. That's a minimum.
Yeah, I think isn't there like a famous or at least like a viral audio clip of Tortorella yelling at people to stop on pucks? I
Probably.
think
Probably. It's probably Dubois.
it probably was.
But that's and I
We're
go back.
highlighting the Calgary broadcast is highlighting Jordan Spence. That's an interesting.
Oh yeah. Good D.
broken
So,
skate.
somebody send this tape to the Kings because their broadcast isn't going to do this.
How do they let him do this on the ice without like how is? Wouldn't you think they'd make him come out and then have to go back in?
Nah, for goaltenders, probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice little highlight though, Russ, of Jordan Spence.
What do we see in our boy Spence that they don't see? What are we missing here?
There's a lot of players that we see things in that they don't see.
Well, here's the
or
thing
vice
though.
versa.
You could make the case that Spence is the quote unquote safer player than Clark. Like if I were to like play Spence and let Clark continue to, if you're not going to play Clark or you don't want to play him on the left or whatever, like let him play in the AHL, let him keep doing his thing. Because I think Spence is a better option. Like if I had to pick between the two, I would pick Spence.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
At least this season, right?
If
you're looking to win games.
For this season, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
100%.
again,
That's why I was like, if you're not going to play them both, then put Clark back in the AHL and just let Spence run.
Yeah, I totally agree with
that. Kings have 15 shots on goal. This game's out of hand.
This will be the game. This will be the game that they win.
Good job, Lizotte. Oh. Yeah, I just hate that it's gotten to the point where like since it seems like it's either Jordan Spence or Brant Clark in the lineup that it's turned into an argument about which player's better, and I hate that we've got to that point.
Yeah, that shouldn't get there. Like these are both really, really good young young D-men, and that's not how this should be looked at.
Oh man, I don't know why they took Laferriere away from Lizotte. I kind of liked. I think he just really didn't like Dubois with Kopitar.
Well, he shouldn't. I think I love.
There you go, Kobe.
I think Lizotte. Like I was like optimistic that
Ooh,
like a
there
Lizotte,
we go.
Laferriere, Kaliev could be a great playoff fourth line.
Yeah, 100%.
England.
Come on, shoot it.
That was a rocket.
Good Lord. Hey, credit where it's due. He was the Kings. He had
Best player last game.
outstanding numbers against Edmonton.
I'd love to know where his zone starts were. I didn't look that up. I forgot to check that out because I saw all those numbers.
Yeah, like they were good on him. But I think we can all agree if your best player is Andreas Englund, that's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's good shit by this line.
Yep.
Nothing happening, but come on, Doughty. Englund is just he's I don't think he's moved. Oh. He gets the puck, he's like, all right, I'm gonna put it over here. Oh.
Get it.
Where's the puck?
Oh.
Where's the puck?
Get in it.
Damn it. Doughty's turned into a rover this shift. Hillary's going to hate it.
Like against Anaheim, when Clark played the left side, he was the passing option for some wingers on the breakout. Like he was in the neutral zone and wing. Like that's awesome. That should be encouraged.
Damn PL. Great.
Russ. Holy cow.
I know.
No, hang on. Englund had 100% offensive shift zone start.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, I felt like there's got to be a reason behind that.
That is incredible.
Well, because there was that one, and then there was that one shift or one face-off where McDavid was out there, and of course, because they have last change, I think McDavid got out there against Englund and Spence, and they hopped right off the boards, and Gavrikov and Doughty came right back on. I don't know if you remember that. So I was like, man, Hiller really doesn't want Englund out there against McDavid. I don't blame him.
Wow.
So to see the numbers that he had, I was like, there's got to be something
great.
Else
That's
going on here.
That's a great call, Russ. He had one defensive zone face-off the entire game.
How many ozone face-offs?
7.
Yeah, that makes sense.
5 in the neutral zone. And his shifts on the fly. It's hard to understand he had 0 defensive zone shifts in the fly. Yeah, there was 9 in the offensive zone. It was that's a great call, Russ.
Yeah, that's getting cleared, and he's going out there.
All the England truthers came out yesterday.
Don't tell them that all his shifts started with the offensive zone.
I should have looked up that number. I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer because I'm not going to pour it on when he actually has a decent game.
And he did. Yep, you got to credit where it's due.
Hey, he does his job, does his role.
That's the thing, Russ. It's not this should be made clear, and I've tried to do this on the pod. It is not his fault. He is who he is. He's doing the best that he can, the abilities that he has. And in the beginning of the season, he was doing it admirably, as best as he could, and it was showing well. It hasn't for the last 3 months.
I mean, England spent for bullets to begin the year. That pair was outstanding.
Yep.
Oh man, I hate that he passed that off. I kind of would have liked to see England just kind of throw that back on.
Would you have?
He's not going to score.
Oh, good. Calgary's on the power play.
Yeah, LeFerrier got a holding minor.
Holden makes a good point here. If they don't trust England in the D zone, why do they play him so much? Isn't he there to be a defensive defenseman who they don't let try in the D zone? That's hilarious. Like, yes, he shouldn't be in the NHL.
It's mystifying.
Oh my goodness.
It's
so I was talking to somebody earlier. I'm not going to name any names because it's not fair to him. But he was somebody that has been employed in the National Hockey League before. I'll just leave it at that. We were talking about the Kings and their defensive, the way their D's constructed. He said, yeah, it's a little old school with the, defensive with the puck mover, and he's rattling through the defense. But he's like, yeah, they got this guy, they got the, Jordan Spence, Brant Clark. I said, yeah, but Andreas Englund. I didn't finish the sentence and he started laughing. And he said, he goes, I remember him in the AHL and I didn't think he'd make it. I didn't think he'd be an NHL defenseman. It's like, and the Kings are trying to win playoff rounds with it.
It's Rob Blake. He's fucking with us is what he's doing. Oh. Man, I mean, I'm not going to jinx it, actually. I'll wait again.
Trevor Moore. Come on.
Poke.
Yeah.
Deneau's played a lot tonight.
It feels like it.
Yeah. Get him on the board.
What's Moverari's numbers look like? He's been okay today, but
I feel like he's been a lot more sheltered today.
Yeah.
I said it earlier, but every time, like with everything that's gone wrong, this penalty kill just continues to just be excellent.
And again, nobody's numbers
out of the box. Dubois, Byfield, Fiala.
Oof. Oh my goodness. Don't look at Natural Stat Trick's shot attempt numbers, anybody. Blake Lizotte, they have him him and Callie have a 0%.
Oh crap! Really?
0.
They have no shot attempts for Lizotte on the ice.
Yeah, 9 against at 5-on-5. At 5-on-5.
Huh.
0 expected. Obviously, 0 expected goals.
Oh, nice pass by Kev! Holy hell!
The leader in on ice Corsi for the Kings is Philippe Deneau at 45.8.
Oh my god!
Ooh. Oh no!
How does that go in?
Did that go off Spence? Was that like the Anderson goal a little bit?
I hope so. There's no way that could beat Talbot clean from there. That didn't even look like that was that heavy of a shot. Spence's gap control there was kind of...
Did he go off his...
It went up his foot. Yeah, it went up his foot. It was going left and it went right.
It still looks easy in slow-mo, but sometimes the change of direction could be all it takes. Still tough.
Oh, man.
Eesh.
Another late one.
This is not good.
Come on, Turks. Make something happen. Turk with LaFerriere and Kopitar. Oh. Off? No. Oh,
I want to see another highlight of that goal, Russ and Randon. So Spence, you mentioned his gap, and I wonder if he was backing up still, because if you watch, and I'm genuinely not saying this to pile on. I'm genuinely curious because Englund England came over like to kind of angle Sharangovich. So if
Yeah.
you're Spence is probably like, well, I don't know if I can step because if I step and get beat, I have no support because England's angling him off this way. That's just me thinking out loud. I'd like to see another replay just for the hell of it, just to see. But either way, this is not good.
End of a back-to-back, 5 minutes left, down 1.
Oh boy.
Things are looking bleak.
Vancouver's beating Pittsburgh at the moment.
Vegas won.
Vegas won. Nashville
Kings
won.
The Kings are going to be a wild card team if they make it.
St. Louis lost. It's certainly looking that way, yes.
St. Louis lost? Well, at least
St. Louis lost. That's the thing. There's 6 boys up. Or 6 boys. I read Shankmaster. He said boys. There's 6 points up on St. Louis still. And I don't think St. Louis is going to do anything at the deadline. They're going to, I suspect that they sell, if anything.
Yeah.
So the Kings are, again, unless they go on another horrid stretch, they should make playoffs. Now,
they're a playoff team by default.
Right. Well said. Well said.
They're gonna back into it, as I say.
Yeah, exactly. Like 2012 all over again.
Another 8. Are you saying another 8 seed run?
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at either.
All right, let's put this back in.
The first matchup is going to be the Jets, and I'm just going to hear it from all the Jets fans. The whole
What
time.
if Colorado needs a second line? So we trade them Deneau for Byram in a first. Then we sign Sam Reinhart as a UFA in the offseason to replace Deneau. So
now
we
you're
net Byram and a first, and then we bring in Reinhart.
Man, Reinhart's going to
assistant GM, please.
I mean, the thing is, you're already paying $8.5 million to Kopitar, or $8.5 million to Dubois, and $7 million to Kopitar.
Yeah,
Reinhardt's probably going to command like 9.
The season he's having. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I love it.
He's so good. Talk about a power play guy. Oh, yeah. He's so good.
I mean, all we'd have to do is then sign 2 goalies at $800K a piece.
And listen,
of $1.5 million.
I don't know where you guys are at on this, but I don't know. I was talking to somebody on Twitter. I think what Blake has done in goal has been arguably his best decision.
Oh,
maybe he was maybe forced to do it because of what he did, but he clearly made the decision to go get Dubois and sign these and make the signings at Gavrikov and that, knowing he's going to have to go cheap in net. It was really smart because both these guys have played well. So full marks to Blake on that. It's something that we've talked about and called for basically on this show. And I think it's worked. Goaltending has not been the problem.
Moore was just not interfered with right there. That's right.
I missed that.
I mean, yeah, exactly. You said it right. You got goaltending that has not been the issue. They're not losing games because of goaltending.
No. Listen, you get 21 shots on goal, 2 goals. That's not beating anybody in this league.
36 shots against. Man, I'd love to know what Rob Blake is thinking. Dude, yeah, I'm with Dalek _Evan. The Kings play Vancouver. They're going to get lit up.
It could get ugly. Yeah, that could get ugly Thursday. Is it third? What day are we at?
Thursday.
Thursday, right? That could get bad.
I'm curious to see how this trade deadline shakes out. You got a lot of contenders against the cap.
Yep.
You have to get creative.
Oof. Yep. A lot of teams are going to have to get creative.
Man, the Kings look like they have no legs.
I just don't know that I buy that they're going to look to load up with a forward I shouldn't say that. I guess I wouldn't surprise you, especially with the Kempe injury. I don't think they should. It depends on the cost. Like, I don't think they should be breaking bank on a forward.
Yeah, like I like your Tarasenko pick. I think I mentioned him earlier. Riley Smith
Yep.
could be a
I
decent
think-
option. He's
Yep.
having a down year.
But yep, so that kind of keeps the cost down. Like, I'd make a move. Yeah, exactly, Russ.
Come on, Jordan, make a play. Fiala does look like he's playing pretty good today. Man, it's like one and done though every time.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get much sustained. I wonder if it's because Calgary has a defense group that can skate and move pucks. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but
Escape their zone.
it might.
That hasn't made you make any money though, Joe. So
It's a touche, man. A touche.
How's your pocketbook feel?
I heard
That was
Couture doesn't want to leave San Jose. He said even if they're losing, he wants to stay there.
Well,
and not
that's
get traded.
admirable. Oh, is this a late power play?
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
3:25 left. You think Hiller pulls the goalie?
Yes,
Would you?
I would.
Yeah, we said so on the pod too.
I was surprised when
Like the
everybody was so
aggressiveness.
upset that he pulled the goalie early against Nashville.
So yeah, we talked about that. So yeah, like it was situational. They had an in zone face off. The matchup was right. I think they were
Like,
caught on the icing.
Was everybody watching the game? Like,
And
there
they
was
had
nothing happening.
0 5 out of 5 goals for the first 57 minutes, but that last 2 minutes they were definitely getting one, Russ.
Exactly.
Come on.
Like it made sense. Like you have
How
to.
could you blame
Yeah.
Hiller for that? Yeah, how could you? And yeah, if you're here again, they've got 12 shots on goal all game, or we're 21 shots on goal all game. Like the only thing that maybe I do is for the face-off. Maybe I have
Side has it. Win the face off, then pull him. That makes sense.
or
Because if you
yeah,
win it clean and then it's just an easy shot.
so that's why. Or either that, or I keep the sixth guy at the
Like
at
as a rover.
the
Yeah.
defensive, yeah, something along those lines. Then when you win the draw, you get possession, bring him up. But yeah, something like that because why not? Again, what are you waiting for?
Man, if they can just somehow squeeze a point out of this game, that's a win.
Oh God, I know. Yeah.
I mean, especially with St. Louis losing. I mean, Kings would be up 7 points in a playoff spot.
Yep.
SB says quickly suit up Nick Bukestack for the win to win a face-off.
It would be surprising if he didn't pull him. Again, maybe he's thinking the face-off, but it'd be surprising if he didn't pull him here, but he pulled him against Nashville.
Oh, that was a high stick, yeah.
What's he arguing? Is he arguing it rode up? I don't know. I think that's.
He's saying that he lifted his stick into him.
So he didn't pull him, but let's see now with
No
face-off.
Yeah. Easy win.
Byfield, come on, bury that.
Oh,
He had the open corner too.
Yeah.
okay. I guess I'm a little surprised. I guess.
Is that a penalty?
No,
Play game?
no, I don't
No?
think so. I guess the one thing I'll say is you don't really practice necessarily 6-on-4, I'm sure, and 5-on-4 is much more
There's more
comfortable.
ice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can buy that. Still, I'd find a way to do it just to have a guy to go retrieve pucks even.
You're also the coach is the guy who coaches the power play. So he's probably
Right, that-
trusting that.
That too.
Empty net. No? Oh, yep. 2:18 left. Goalie pulled.
Good.
Oh, why are we? Oh
And
my
again,
God.
I'm definitely behind you guys.
Man, if
I'm at
get the puck
217.
in the zone, make the defense turn around and get it. You have 6 players on the ice.
Oh,
Stop
God.
trying to carry the zone. Oh my God, that frustrates the hell out of me. Win a board battle. Here you go, Kopi. All right, move it. That'd be hilarious if Artie just snipes one right now. Oh,
He's on the backside. Oop.
Could use a Trevor Moore goal right about now.
I could use any goal right about now.
oh, I think you got your answer. Damn. Oh,
Fuck.
Oh, come on. That goes in. Ugh.
just turns and just fires. Tanev with a nice block. Oh, and 2 on the road trip so far.
Well, we said in the podcast that a good road trip would be 3 points. That's impossible in right now. So this is already a subpar roadie.
I mean, you would think that the vibes are extremely down for Vancouver, the way they look tonight.
The losses plus the injuries is a really bad vibes combo. Especially when Kempe's back in LA. That's not good.
Dude, if this continues until next week, then Matt Roy has to be like a name that comes up.
Yes.
Has to be.
He's
not going to be back next year. He's not going to be back. They're not going to be able to re-sign him unless they move money elsewhere. And like, who are you going to move? Fiala has a no movement clause. They're not going to trade Dubois. They're not going to trade Kopitar. You got to re-sign Byfield. Not going to trade Gavrikov.
Trevor Moore's locked up for a few more years. He's going to be coming off 30 goals, so we don't want to trade that.
Dude.
Well,
probably either has to make a move to improve the team and hope that the homestand,
or he's going
to
sell to his owners. We're going to sell Matt Roy at the deadline for futures.
I mean, the way they're playing tonight, they're losing to Vancouver. So then they have 3 games before the trade deadline.
Wait, so they're going to be. Wait, so are you looking at that same graphic I am, Joe? The standings? Is that after this game or is that right now? Is Calgary 5 points behind them right now or?
Yeah, that's
after this.
That is
doesn't
after
update
this.
that fast.
Oh, after this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's after this game.
They're 5 points ahead of Vancouver. They have a game at hand. Oh.
Yeah, because Calgary will leapfrog Minnesota and St. Louis. But the thing is, again, the Flames, they're going to sell. They're not going to keep. They're not going to keep Hannafin if he's not going to resign for the hopes that they sneak into a wild card spot. So, you know what I mean? And maybe Tanev they're gonna sell a couple of these pieces. So I just don't think that they're like, if you told me they were going to keep these pieces, then okay, I'm a little nervous about that. But I just don't think they are. They might trade their goalie. I mean,
man, Well, that was fun.
Well,
Oh man, I don't know. These next few days, man. I think.
It's gonna be a
Wait,
little
how many?
mommy's all right. Daddy's
How
all
many games are
right.
left? How many games? We got
The
4
season.
games left until the deadline.
Yeah.
Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday, and the next Thursday. Does that
Yep.
sound right?
yeah. So they have, it is Vancouver. It's at Vancouver. Home to the Devils, home to Vancouver, home to Ottawa, and then that's it. And then
That's very realistically all losses.
and then they're home to the Stars the day after the deadline.
Oh man, they would
So
have to at least get.
What happened to that easy schedule I thought the Kings had?
Yeah,
This isn't an easy stretch.
if they don't get 5 points out of these next 4 games, if you go 500, if you go 2-2, do you stand pat, or do you sell Roy, or do you improve the team? Like, what's the cutoff here? Like, you got 4 games left if you're Rob Blake to really evaluate whether you want to trade Matt Roy. Like, there's got to be like a.
To me, it's less about. Honestly, I think it's less about the performance and the points. It's more about what's the severity. Is Kempe, Arvidsson, and Anderson going to be available in playoffs? If they're not, I'm trading Matt Roy. If they are, we're going to get through this. We're going to make playoffs because we have a cushion and we're still a good enough team to win games that Matt Roy will help us get past the first round. And I think that is mission number 1 of the season, is win a goddamn playoff round. And he's going to help them do that. So I think it has as much to do with the severity of the injuries. If Kempe is done for the season, he needs surgery, done to the summer. And Mikey and Victor are what is the latest? Do we know the latest on Mikey and Victor?
No.
Victor, he said he'll be back by the end of the regular season.
Okay.
So they said
positive.
that about Victor.
So that's
Yeah.
positive. We don't know yet on Mikey.
We don't. I haven't heard anything
3
about
games?
Mikey.
But he hasn't been placed on long-term IR yet. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say that that's cautiously optimistic. So 2 of those 3 cautiously optimistic will be back before the end of the regular season. And if Kempe can return in playoffs, then I think I can understand standing pat. Now, I'm not selling the farm to go buy something unless it's something with term, right? Like I've talked about, if there's I guess you bring up a good point, Russ, that I am probably wrong here, that whoever the Kings were to trade on the back end, you're going to push Mike Anderson or Gavrikov to third pair. Is that something that's realistic? But and I take your point there that maybe it's not, because if you're looking for a D-man with term is what I'd be looking for, or maybe that bargain bin, like hockey trade. Bargain's the wrong term. Hockey trade for a buy low of a Bull and Byram type of thing. So I don't think they need to break the bank and go be big buyers either. So I think it's more on the injuries though than it is on the point totals this next week.
How much would you improve this team if they're going to be coming back? If those players, Anderson, Arvidsson, Kempe, come back, what are you looking to improve?
So I guess what I would do, if those guys are coming back, you figure that's 2 forwards, right? That's 2 forwards in the mix. And I don't know about Grundstrom, what his status is.
Yeah,
I think what I would try to do is, like, I would try to go upgrade lefty 3 now. But when I say that, I mean lefty 3 in an LA Kings style lefty 3. Like, can in that trade, if you're getting these 2 forwards back, maybe Arthur Kaliev is a piece that you can use in that deal. Is there a Nick Seeler is a guy in Philly, eats a shit ton of pucks, blocks shots, plays a real hard game on the left side. They don't know if they're going to sign him or not. He's one of these guys that could be on the move. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, Colorado's pumping Dallas right now. I didn't even turn that game on.
5-1, I think. So I still think that is the biggest an easiest area to upgrade if they're not comfortable doing it with Moverari or Clark, then go and get even if it's a legit third pair left D, almost inevitably it's going to be an upgrade to England. And I think you can do that at a cheap price, and yet you can probably have a decent return on your investment. Now, maybe Kaliev's not that price. Like maybe it's even cheaper than
Yeah.
that. You know, so something, but the problem is they don't have a second, they don't have a third. So, you know, what are you getting for a fourth or a fifth? You know, Sealer's going to go for more than that. So, but that type of D man that's along those Kings, you know, more defensively minded, hard to play against left D, but is somebody that's just a little bit better than what they're getting right now from England.
Yeah. I just
Because if
wonder
those
if
guys
they'll be
come
able
back,
to.
is there room for a forward? If those guys come back, where's
Well,
that
the only
forward?
thing I'd question is are they able to hold the fort until those guys come back?
I think so. I just think
Okay.
so. Because I think,
I mean,
again,
you're kind of relying on the strength of schedule.
strength of schedule,
little
I'm
bit.
relying on the cushion that they've got 5 points over a Calgary team that I expect to sell one of their top two of their top defensemen and their goalie. I expect St. Louis to be a team that's at the very least not buying, and I think an LA Kings team that's banged up is still better than St. Louis. So yeah, I think that they can just because of the cushion they got. Now maybe it means it's the second wild card, right? Maybe Nashville goes ahead of them, but I think that they're good enough still to maintain a playoff spot and that they can hold the fort.
Gotcha.
I think because I guess if you say you go get Tarasenko, okay, and that's your move because you got the forward injuries, and when those guys come back, you know, I suppose you could probably find spots for them, and then you know you'd find spots for those guys. I mean, I'm sure you could in the top 3 lines. You know, I think that's certainly probably doable because we've seen, yeah, that would be doable. So I would get that, but I just think they could really use an upgrade. They got to find a way to upgrade that bottom pair.
This is something I've thought about. Like Shank Master asks, if we make the playoffs, do we scare anybody? I think they do, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
I
And
think
I
they do.
agree with Edgar right here. I think they do. I mean, this team is built for the playoffs. That's the thing.
It's the whole point.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the reason you load up down the middle of the ice, and that's assuming that everybody's healthy.
Right. And
That's assuming you get back, you get
yeah,
Harbison hopefully back.
and Mikey Anderson's a
And we saw
playoff
how
type
good
of
this
guy.
team was when they had their full top 9 together
Yeah.
during that stretch. They played pretty well.
You know, and that's why I say Roy is still an important piece because a Gavrikov Roy middle pair has the capability to be as good a shutdown pair as any. You know, as long as it's not Edmonton that they're dealing with, then they have a shot. So
Yeah.
that's I don't I mean I think they do. I think if a healthy Kings team I do think is a scary team for a higher seed. You know, a wild card Kings team I think is a little scary.
Oh, 100%. Like, could you imagine if you're the Canucks and your first matchup is the Kings? I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to get 2012
You
PTSD.
yeah. You don't like that. You don't like that.
No, 100%. I think if you're the Stars,
I
maybe
don't think the Kings even close to Vancouver's not scared of the Kings at all.
I
They're
think they would be. I think their fan base would be. I don't know if their players would be. So maybe there's that. Maybe I guess it depends. We haven't even seen them play each other, so we don't even know.
That's crazy.
I don't think there's any team in the Pacific that's scared of the Kings.
I think
Maybe.
Vancouver might be the only one, and that we'll see. I mean, my opinion could change after if we just get absolutely pummeled by them on Thursday.
What are they scared of?
England, clearly. We've talked about this. So
none of the players on this team were there in 2012. So all this.
No, I mean, but no,
you know, this kind of stuff like that.
I mean, who on the Canucks has been to a playoff game? Has played in a playoff game?
So
Zadorov? Demko's never been in a playoff game.
But what does that have to do with the Kings?
The Kings have experience. They have playoff experience. That's going to
They have experience losing.
value. I mean, that's still valuable though. There's still some value to it that they've been there before. And I'm not going to say I'm not saying that this is what would help the Kings beat them. I'm just saying from a mindset point of view, if you're a Kings team, and even if I'm just speaking for myself too, like I would much rather see them play the Canucks over the Oilers.
Well, yes. Yeah, I want to do anything to avoid the Oilers. Oilers, Dallas, Colorado.
Is that PTSD for you though?
No part of. It's just they're better.
And I think it's also for the team too. Look at Hiller. He doesn't even want to put some players out against McDavid. I mean, and Kopitar has been cooked by McDavid. Gavrikov and Doughty were just cooked by McDavid and Draisaitl.
And I assume Colorado addresses their second line center, and I still wonder if it's Casey Middlestat. And so once they address second line center, I'm back to being scared of them. So yeah, I guess I'm scared of them. No, I shouldn't say that. But those three teams, Dallas, Colorado, Edmonton, I don't think LA can hang with them. I think LA can beat a Winnipeg. I think LA can beat a Vancouver. I think they can beat Vegas. I don't know if they'd be favored in any of those series, but it wouldn't shock me if they were to beat one of them. Those other three teams, no thank you.
Man, actually, I honestly wouldn't be too scared about that Vegas matchup. I think they're very similar teams in how they play.
Yeah, they're we saw them earlier. They're fine with LA having the puck and just blocking shots. It works for them. I mean, Vegas, I think, is when healthy. They've got some injuries too. When healthy, top to bottom, I think they're probably better. But to your point, the style, they don't play a style that is all that worrisome. I think you're going to see a lot of tight games and stuff like that.
All the games that they played each other this year were close.
Yeah, those are the type
Except
of games.
I think there was one home game in Vegas where they just lit them up.
Yeah, Edmonton could very easily put up a handful on the Kings, and so could Dallas, and so could Colorado. Yeah. The way those teams play scare me more than Vegas. And that's not to say that Vegas isn't a better team. It's just stylistically, they almost allow the Kings to be in the game a little bit.
For sure. Dude, we still got 66 people in here. What's up, everybody? I appreciate you guys sitting through with us on this fun night with the Kings losing 4-2 to the Calgary Flames. If you haven't done so already, we would love it if you guys would like and subscribe to our channel. We're on the verge of getting close to 1,000. We're almost Brandon, we're almost less than 50 subs away from 1,000.
We were 957 when I looked this morning.
43 subs from 1,000. We started this channel a year and a half ago, and from nothing, and we're already growing it because of you guys that are in here.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream right now, now. See, Brandon is the host, and it's funny because I'll be candid with you guys. We had this conversation after the end of our last pod when we signed off, and we joked about how ending these shows it seems like it's the hardest thing to do. Joe's hosted, I've hosted at times, but Brandon he does it so much better than us. So I'm trying my best here, and I'm failing miserably. But I appreciate you guys.
I can bring in the closer. Is that?
Yeah, we got to bring in the closer.
the next time Russ or me or I have to host a show, there's not going to be one. We're just clicking end stream. There's not going to be a shut up. It's going to be fake.
The audio version.
The Sopranos.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
We forgot to do our sponsor. Let's do that really quick so we can get some.
Okay, let's do the sponsor.
We know hockey games move fast, but DraftKings Sportsbook's the official sports betting partner for the NHL. You can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. If you want to parlay all Kings losses for the next 4 games, that would be quite a bit of cash for you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now with code THPN. New customers can bet $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports bettor of the NHL. Thank you guys for listening in. Follow us here at hockey_royalty. Go to hockeyroyalty.com for all your articles. Follow us here at JW Paterino, NHL Russell, Random Commander 24, and Kopitar 4 HOF for all your rain and prospect news. We will be back later on this week. Our episode or show is going to be coming here Friday is what we're trying to do with some more tinfoil hat segments as well as the end of the road trip. So subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live. Thank you guys so much and appreciate you, Russ, for hosting this bad boy.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys hopping in here with me, enjoying this, enduring this fun, exciting Calgary Flames LA Kings game. But I guess until next time, like we always say on this podcast, right, Randon?
Go Kings,
go.